Hello everyone and welcome back to the plot. It's the 22nd of January and it is a beautiful day. It's so lovely to be here so early as well. So I've got the whole morning to do as much as possible. But basically we are coming up to 1 whole year of being on this plot. So it's my plot's birthday or anniversary, whatever you want to call it. So this week I've been ploughing through the to-do list. I just want to get as much done as possible, just because the anniversary is coming up, and I want it to be like a joyous, happy occasion. Like, look how much I've done, look how many things I've ticked off the to-do list. Oh, my little Robin is here already. Hello. Waiting for seeds and mealworms. You're so cute. You're so cute. I love them. Anyway, spoiler. That's a bit of a spoiler. I will show you what I got up to this week, the last 2 days actually, and then we will plough on with today's jobs. Let's go. The first job on my to-do list is to weed around the pond area. This is what I was going to do last week, but I got distracted and just watched the birds instead. So this was one of last week's jobs, but we are going to do it now. So my plan for this area is actually to wood chip right up to the pond. I'm not going to have a flower border thing around it again because there's a lot of bindweed growing in this area, and it's kind of like wrapping itself round the pond. If you don't know, the pond is actually a bath and it's got like that rim around the edge, so it just the bindweed just goes round and round and round, and nettle as well. I found some nettle, so I gave it a really good weed, got out as much of the bindweed as possible. I know I'm not going to get it all. It's going to be here forever, I feel. But we've got a good chunk of this like weeded, and hopefully a lot of it out. Keeping the 2 fern plants. I found these in a different area of the allotment when I was clearing last year at some point, and I just kind of dug them out and then put them by the pond because I really like ferns. I love the leaves, they're so pretty, and I know these are kind of just your standard fern plant, nothing special, but I'm keeping them. Like I said, I just love the leaves. So we did all this area. I'm going to cardboard and wood chip, and in the future I will be putting pots of flowers and stuff around this area just because it's a little bit more manageable. If and when the bindweed grows back, I can easily just move the pot, dig through what remains of the cardboard, get it out, cover it back over. Happy days. I feel like I've pulled out so much plastic on this allotment, like the woven weed membrane fabric, and I can't be doing with putting more plastic down. I was thinking about putting the not weed suppressant membrane, it's damp proof membrane, as like a temporary measure just for the year, and then covering it with wood chip and then lifting it up this time next year and seeing what would grow underneath. But I just don't want to buy any more plastic. I don't want to add plastic after I've spent so long digging so much of it out. So we're just gonna cardboard and wood chip, and if and when stuff grows back, just dig through and get it out. That's my plan and that's my thoughts anyway. So I'm just digging round. Oh, the little robin keeps popping up. Oh, the birds. Oh, they're so sweet. I love them so much. I'm just digging around this area, and there was, I think it must have been some kind of fruit bush. But anyway, I pulled it out. I don't remember any like berry type things growing last year. Maybe I should have kept it, potted it up or something, but I kind of just ripped it out and threw it on the compost, so sorry plant. On to the most satisfying job of actually getting the wood chips down. It just looks so much better, nicely covered over with a fresh layer of wood chips, doesn't it? The next big thing on my to-do list is to clear the back of the plot, and oh my gosh, I didn't think it would take quite so long. So I attempted it on this day and just kind of tried to figure out what exactly was growing here. Lots and lots of bindweed. That's what's growing up and wrapping itself around the fence. So I kind of just like pulled that off, the dead bits anyway. And I noticed about 4 nettle stumps. So that is gonna be fun to deal with. There's also the comfrey, which I'm keeping in this location. A couple of people did suggest moving it, but I think I'm going to keep it for this year anyway. On to a more fun job. I am going to assemble a couple of raised beds. I've had these planks of wood lying around for a couple of months now. It's time to get them together. But I did realise that one of my planks is completely warped, so trying to get this bed together, yeah, I made a bit of a mess of it, but it's fine. Like, it will do. Just don't look at it too closely. I'm also putting the second smaller bed together. My initial thought was to put it here in this wide space, but as you can see, I'm thinking about it quite quite a lot. Yeah, I'm not actually going to put it here. I'm just going to leave this space kind of open. I felt like the bed was a little bit too wide and it was still too close to this pond. I might put an even narrower bed in. We'll see if I can get any more cheap decking boards. I might make something, or like I said, I might just put pots over here. With that job done, I am going home. See you tomorrow. Today is the day. We are finally tackling this patch. Oh my gosh, guys, it was awful. It doesn't look that bad on camera. You're probably looking at it being like, oh, it just looks like some dead sticks. But oh my gosh, the bindweed is absolutely crazy. Yeah, it was a lot of raking through the soil, picking out plastic and bindweed bits and nettle runners and shoots and roots. And there was also a piece of the woven weed fabric in this little path bit, and oh my gosh, it was awful because yeah, the bindweed just grows through it, underneath it, over it. Not fun at all. But yeah, I spent ages just like raking bits and breaking bits up, and yeah, it was really taking me back to my first few months on the plot when I was basically doing this every single day for every square metre of this plot and just digging and ripping and pulling nettles and bindweeds and rubbish. But yeah, it was horrible. I was on the verge of having a breakdown at one point because there was like this recycling bag with a bramble growing out and through it, and the bag was just like breaking, and it was full of rubble and soil, plastic, broken bits of string, and I pulled it up, and next to it was this like the tiniest little baby toad ever, and I felt so bad. Like, it made such a comfortable little nest under all this plastic gross rubbish. And yeah, then I went and disturbed it, and I thought, oh god, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to disturb anyone else. But yeah, I did pick that little baby tiny weeny toad up and moved it to the other side of the wood pile. Hopefully it found a new home. And then I also found like this tiny little intricately made nest, which was also made out of like shreds of plastic and netting, and I just felt so bad. Like, there's so many creatures living in here. One, I felt bad because I was just going in and disturbing them, but then also two, this is what they've been living in, just like plastic mess for so long. But anyway, the nest was actually vacated. It was vacant. There was nobody around. I didn't know whether it was like some kind of little mouse nest, but yeah, I was just not having a good time doing this, and it was just taking absolutely ages to get through all this stuff. This isn't even very interesting footage, like looking back at it. I'm just raking over the same patches over and over again. I actually stopped filming after I found the toad because I just had enough. I just wanted to go home. But I did actually end up doing a little bit more, and then I got rid of all the plastic, rubbish and bits, but I didn't film that. But it's done anyway, it's done. So the back of the plot, what am I going to do with it? A lot of people have suggested putting a shed here, and I have said a couple of times that I would like to have a little shed on the plot, and this centre portion of the back area would be the perfect spot for it. But the thing is, I do kind of need a shed to keep all my tools in, but I'm just put off by having a shed on the plot because this is going to sound so stupid, but because of spiders, I can't stand spiders, and I just feel like me putting a nice cozy shed there is just going to be the perfect house for spiders. So I don't know what to do. I have a shed, a little one in my garden at home, which I don't really utilise at the moment because like all my tools have been on the allotment plot. I haven't had much use for it, so I was going to dismantle it and move it up to the plot, but I don't know anymore. Spiders. But a couple of other people have made some good suggestions of what I could do with the back of the plot. I was also talking to my neighbour, and he came over and asked me, what are you going to grow in this area? And I said, I don't know. I just don't know because there's just so many weeds up here. And he said, oh, well, eventually maybe you can put a tree up here or something. And he was like, actually, you probably have a space for like 3 trees, and that's probably true. I could put a couple of trees back here because it makes the plot a little bit more private from people walking in the park next door, like coming past. And yeah, and it's a home for birds, potentially fruit trees, but yeah, the fruit will probably end up being eaten by the birds. But yeah, that's a thought anyway. Other suggestions were just to, cover it over, wood chip it, and just have bird feeders across here. Like, I could have a couple of different ones with different seeds for different birds and, all that. And also to have a seating area at the back. And I think a seating area will be really good because it gets some shade from the big trees behind me. And it's also nice to, sit up here, and I assume it'll be nice to sit up here. I haven't done it yet. Watch like the bird feeders and the pond and just look down the plot. I think that is what I'm gonna do with this space. once it's all cleared up. We've made a really good dent in this area, but it's not completely done. I don't think I'll do the wood pile until probably like end of March, April, just because of hibernating things living in there. I'd probably start on the compost pile sooner and try and get that area condensed. So yeah, we'll see. But I think this area will be a good seating area for now. Potentially maybe a shed. Maybe. If I can get over the thought of just creating a home for spiders. But yeah, we'll see. You are so round. Look. I can't believe how round you are. Oh, you're so cute. Okay, let me get you your mealworms. Okay, so this is what we're going to finish off today. Oh, it's singing tunes now. So I know people are going to be like, you shouldn't have put cardboard down, you should have used some kind of weed membrane. You can all tell me that you told me so when the weeds back there are unbearable. But anyway, I am going to get the last remaining bit of nettle out, then lay down the cardboard and make the most of the wood chips, because they don't hang around long. And then potentially we can start to deal with this mess. But basically I really want to condense it into like one Dalek bin. Yeah, whether we can actually do that, I don't know, because there is a lot of material here, shall we say. I also need to decide where I'm going to put this bed and level off this bed and start filling it. Yeah. Oh, I've just noticed, look. The very, very beginnings of the daffodil bulbs I planted. So I planted like really teeny weeny ones, like short little daffodils. Yay! They're already coming up. No. Are you singing for your mealworms? Oh. Okay, I'll do that now. And we're back to raking over this area. It wasn't too bad today, I only had a little bit left to do, and you can see that I actually got rid of the green recycling bag that was up here. I also found 4 lids for compost bins, and I assume 3 of them were for, I don't know if you remember, I had like 3 giant Dalek compost bins on the plot, but none of them had lids. Well, they were all here, buried under the undergrowth. But I put those in the swap area of our allotment site. I don't know what it's called actually. You just put useful stuff that people might want. So I got rid of all 3 of those Dalek compost bins. But I found the lids now, so that's useful. There's still at least 2 nettle stump things within this wood pile, which is really annoying. Nettles! They're everywhere. But it's really weird because I was looking at the back of the fence for the plots either side of me, and none of them have had such bad nettle and bindweed situations. I was looking at photos from over the summer, and my plot was just like completely overgrown with the nettles and bindweed and either side, even though neither of them really do a lot with the very back of their plot. They had not a single nettle or bindweed bit growing on their fence. Hopefully we have got rid of a lot of these roots that were in the ground and we won't have as much popping up next year. Well, this year, this spring. Half an hour later, done. Well, the middle portion is done. I am going to lay the cardboard and then we're going to have the fun job of wood chipping. So exciting. So there's a comfrey here and there's also a comfrey here. I thought there were 2 but I couldn't remember, but there's definitely one big one here and a little one there. I think I'm just going to cover this one over. I'm sure it will sprout through the cardboard and wood chip at some point. Excuse me. Come on. You must leave. One and a half hours later, well, and all the hours I spent doing this yesterday, but look at that. That was tough. All wood chipped, kind of levelled out. Oh my gosh. And the comfrey, the centerpiece. Oh my word. As much as I want to get on with this now, I don't think I have the energy left. I think we pulled out 4 buckets. Yeah, 4 buckets and 1 bag full of bindweed, nettle roots and rubbish. So because I'm going to be just binning the roots anyway, it's all mixed up with the rubbish, and yeah, they can go in the bin. But oh my gosh, now I've got to find somewhere to put these, probably with all that lot. which I still need to go through. Oh my gosh. So I think, yeah, rather than start with that pile or that pile, I am going to just do like a speed clean of the plot, tidy up all the bits and bobs that are hanging around. I really need to get rid of these whatchamacallits Romanesco stalks because they stink so bad. They smell like off broccoli. Hello? Hello. round pigeon. Right, let's do a speed clean. I wasn't going to use this spent compost for this bed, but I really wanted the old compost bags that they were in because I needed somewhere to put all the bindweed roots. But yeah, and in that bed I think I'm going to put potatoes because, I don't know, the ground is quite hard there, and I think potentially potatoes in there will like loosen stuff up. And growing potatoes in the ground worked so well last year. I definitely want to do that again this year. So there we have it, one brand new potato bed made. Yeah, and 3 bags of bindweed roots. Yay. Okay, I got a little bit carried away and I ended up going into that corner and just taking away all the rubbish bits, stuff for the like swap area and stuff for the scrap metal pile. I cleared up everything so it's all looking pretty tidy. Levelled that bed, cleared up all the rubbish. I'm tired. I'm just going to take the wheelbarrow of stuff over. Might collect a couple more wood chips just to do this bit where I dug in the bed, just cover that over. Don't have energy to chop those up. Was going to level out this bed but realised I need to move the compost bin first. So yeah, we'll just leave that for now. So left to do in this area, obviously the pond, loads of pieces of wood I need to sort through, get the ground sheet up from this area, yeah, get rid of those pieces of wood and the plastic pallet, then start condensing this pile into this and into that Dalek, but I'm going to move that Dalek over here, so we'll have 2 up here, and then we'll be able to wood chip this area and around here eventually, hopefully. Oh, and I also moved the bird feeder right into the centre again, so that's going to look nice. Bit of a better background. Yeah. Going to put some more bird feed out and empty that wheelbarrow, do that tiny bit of wood chipping, and then I'm going home. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. This has been a very full-on week, well, 3 days at the plot. Yeah. The sun has come out, oh my gosh. Okay, time to go home. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you soon. Next video will probably be a seed sowing sesh because, I don't know, I wasn't going to sow any seeds in January, but loads of other people are, so I think I'm just going to chuck some in. Definitely chilies, probably onions, leeks, sweet peas, we'll see. Anyway, thank you again for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye!